Hi guys, my name is Clara and in a couple of months I will be becoming a doctor. I created this YouTube channel to talk about things that I feel are important and that I am passionate about. One of those things is dermatology. That's why today we will be talking about how do retinoids work and how does retinoic acid work. We will attempt to answer this question as research-based and rigorously as possible. And of course, let's have some fun. So the retinoid family is derived by keratinoids, which then transform into vitamin A. Keratinoids are found in some plants, for example, carrots. The molecules pertaining to this family are retinol esters, retinol, retinal, and retinoic acid. So their roles in this family are very similar to Pokemon evolutions. We have the least irritating, although least potent on the left side, which has to then transform and evolve step by step into the most potent and bioactive form, which is retinoic acid. So now that we know the members of this family, let's see what happens in the skin. As you can see, this is a superficial view of the skin. Now let's get a closer look. We can observe the three primary layers of the skin, which are the epidermis, the dermis, and the hypodermis. Epi meaning above, dermos meaning skin, and hypo meaning under. Now let's zoom in and see a little bit more closely one of the primary targets of retinoids, the epidermal cells. Here we can clearly visualize the four layers of the epidermis: the stratum corneum, the stratum granulosum, the stratum spinosum, and the stratum basale. And all of these epithelial cells are types of keratinocytes. And similar to a snake that sheds, your skin also renews every single 28 days, approximately. This is giving from bottom to top. Now let's zoom in and see what is going on inside our cells. So this is our retinoic acid molecule, which, as we remember, is our activated form. Now, our retinoic acid molecule needs transportation once it's near the cell, which will be provided by the cytosolic retinoic acid binding protein, or CRABP for short. Now, CRABP will transport our retinoic acid to the cell nuclei and we'll drop it off nearby. Now let's get into our nucleus and unwrap one of our chromosomes. And we will see two types of receptors: retinoid X receptor and retinoic acid receptor. Once retinoic acid binds to these receptors, they activate, which then switch on some pieces of DNA called retinoic acid response elements, which trigger transcription factors. These transcription factors set the rules and give instructions to cells in forms of signals. So now that we have all these cell signals, we will induce epidermal hyperplasia. Remember our cells? Well, now let's zoom out and see what has happened. We can clearly observe epithelial hyperplasia. So now we can visualize, as I said, epithelial hyperplasia, which means increased numbers of cells. So technically, thickening of the skin and increased skin cell turnover. Increased cell turnover ultimately aids in the evening out of skin tone, decreases hyperpigmentation, and aids in the treatment of acne. Another benefit related to prolonged retinoic acid use is an increase in collagen production, which then translates into wrinkle effacement. So, as we can observe, after prolonged retinoic acid treatment, the collagen band thickness in the papillary dermis more than doubled in this patient after 22 months. By the way, this is a papillary dermis. And we finally finished. So, today we learned why retinoids are so important in today's modern skincare and ultimately are so effective. By the way, before you go, I would very much appreciate if you would help me gather some funds so I can start my own clinical/science research. So hopefully you can subscribe, comment, donate to Patreon. Also, I provide medical English tutoring for medical professionals whose primary language is not English. So we can role play clinical cases, improve your spoken English in clinical settings, or if you want to share your published paper, practice how you explain your clinical case or research in a conference. So, before you go, the use of tretinoin is very serious. I just explained how it works, but it is highly recommendable to seek the advice of a proper dermatologist. Additionally, I've made this video with entertainment and educational purposes only. If you're a scientist or a medical professional, my apologies for not properly formatting my sources in proper citation styles like APA or MLA, as I assumed visual citations would be more understandable for the general audience. Additionally, I'd like to clarify that retinoic acid treatment is followed by an increased production of procollagen 1, which is a precursor for collagen. And of course, for the avid science nerds, if I missed mentioning something specific, I put additional information in the description of this video. You should definitely check it out. And well, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it.